Hey guys, welcome back to another video. It's your man Jay Will. So I've got a small little battle here for you. This is the Htc U Ultra versus the Axon 7. So this Axon 7 here has definitely been a phone to beat in a lot of areas as far as I see it. It's definitely a flagship device. Amongst many communities, it is well known. But it's time to take the Htc U Ultra and see how it stands up against the also famous Axon 7, king of speakers for sure. But we'll see. This has a boom sound setup, and I'm going to definitely put it to the test. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. So let's get into it. Now, the Htc U Ultra is definitely new on the scene, and it's a phone that's a lot of people are going to like. It's a pretty big phone, as you can see here. I've got them side by side there, so you can kind of see exactly how they fare next to each other here. So starting with build quality and design, let's go with the Challenger here. The HTC decided to step away from their metal body and go with a liquid glass type design is what they're calling it, something like that, liquid design or something like that. This is basically glass on top of a thin sheet of metal. That's how you get these curves, and it just kind of flows onto the phone. It's actually pretty nice. Still has that metal chassis and everything, and it looks beautiful. You've got a little camera hump on the back there. That doesn't bother me at all. This phone has a camera hump, not really a big deal. Got the LED flash back there on the back, and then you've got a ridge power button, which is definitely I'm totally a fan of ridge power buttons. Volume rockers on that side. Nothing here. You've got the SIM tray and noise cancellation microphones. This phone actually has 4 microphones, by the way. USB Type-C, and there's that single bottom firing speaker there, and then the other one doubles in the headset, the earpiece there. Overall, though, this design is actually pretty stunning. You know, obviously the main drawback is it's a little bit bigger in the hand, and also it's slippery. Forget about the fingerprints. It's just a slippery device. In order to keep it clean, you're going to need a microfiber cleaning cloth on hand at all times. If you don't have it in a case, if the fingerprints bother you, they don't really bother me that much because I don't walk around looking at the back of my phone. A lot of people seem to be so bothered by that, but you know, it is there. Just know that if you're a person who likes to keep a clean look all the time, then this phone definitely will need a skin or drop it in a case. And they do include a case with this phone right here. So with that being said, the design of this phone is actually really solid. Now, when it comes to the HTC U Ultra compared to the Axon 7, I favor the Axon 7's build quality. It has a 5.5 inch display, but it still has the dual speakers, and it's a much smaller footprint, as you can see. This pretty much has a 6-inch display, or 5.9, because it has a secondary display up top, but it's not included pretty much in the setup of the display. But build quality though, you've got a rear-mounted fingerprint reader, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. You got the LED tone flash on the back with the camera sensor. Doesn't have a ridged power button, which I've always said that bummed me out. Also, I forgot to mention, this phone does not have a headphone jack. You have to use the included USB Type-C headphones, or you can buy your own USB Type-C headphones. But anyway, you've got a headphone jack on this one. It doesn't have 4 microphones, but it does have a noise canceling microphone. USB Type-C, SIM tray on this side, and you've got your front firing speakers there, and you've got the 5.5 inch display. But overall though, build quality for me is in design. It's definitely going to go, okay, so this is kind of a mixed bag. The design of the phone, I like the HTC U Ultra, but the build quality on this phone definitely goes to the Axon 7. Having a metal body like this, no fingerprints, it's not as slippery. It's got that matte feel that I really enjoy. I just like the way this one looks. The design of this is nice, but this one feels a lot better in the hand because obviously it has a smaller display, it's a smaller footprint. But just the overall feel of this phone, just the completeness of the Axon 7's build quality and design, I have to give it to the HTC, excuse me, the Axon 7. Now here's something that's really nice. These both have a Quad HD display, and as I look, let me check the viewfinder real quick here. So when you look through the viewfinder, I put the same wallpaper on there. Uh-oh, bumpy cam. you can take a look here and you tell me what you see through the viewfinder as far as these two wallpapers. Now, to my surprise, the AMOLED display on the Axon 7 is not as punchy as this LCD 5 on the HTC U Ultra. The wallpaper looks punchier on the U Ultra, but they both look really, really good. I prefer AMOLED displays, as you guys know, but this wallpaper loaded up on both looks really, really solid. I'm not going to say that the LCD 5 is better than the AMOLED, because I definitely prefer AMOLED, but just for some reason that particular photo comes across a little bit more punchy on the Ultra for some reason. But both displays are really good. I don't have a problem with either one. I think they both look solid. So you do get a bigger footprint on the HTC U Ultra, and you get more screen. But with that, you also get a bigger body. But I prefer big phones. So, but if I had to choose one, I'm not gonna leave you hanging. If I had to choose one, I definitely choose the display on the HTC U Ultra for this one. So let's get into something that you guys probably want to see, and I want to give it to you right now. Let's go to my downloads. I downloaded some music, some non-copywritten music, so I could play it for you guys. And I'm going to take the microphone and I'm going to take it off of me and kind of sit it. You'll see it's going to be sitting in view right here. I'll leave it there. And now I'm going to play the Challenger first. Let's start with Fire Engine. All right, time for the reigning champion. So I'll do another song. This is just a phone to beat for speaker quality, man. Let's do Hot Heat. All right. Woo! I'll do one more song, even though I feel like the Axon 7 is definitely sounds better, and it's almost a little bit louder than most phones can beat the Axon 7 as far as pitch and how loud it is. But I think the Axon 7 is holding its own against the U Ultra. Yeah. Yeah. I don't have to continue. Let's put the mic back on. All right, so that's kind of a no-brainer. The HTC U Ultra does have boom sound. It does have the front speakers, but they are just no match for the Axon 7. This phone to me is still the reigning king of speakers for quality, sound. It just sounds amazing. If you can ever get this phone in person, for those that do have it, you can vouch for me. The sound quality on this phone is ridiculous. The bass and everything that comes from it, it's just crazy. I can't even go into words. But anyway, the U Ultra does have boom sound, and while it's not as clear and as loud as the Axon 7, I mean, let's be honest here, HTC is known for having great sounding speakers. So I think the M8 and the M7 were two of the best sounding phones at one point. But when the Axon 7 launched with this Dolby Atmos and the stereo front-facing speakers, they shut everybody else down. So still the king of speakers, the Axon 7. Let's move on to features and things like that. Now, for me, features are not something that's that important on a phone, like having split screen and all that. These both have Nougat. They both can do split screen. But here's where the Ultra is a little bit different. You can see I'm running a different theme here. I'm running the Pixel theme on here, and I just like the theme store within the HTC U Ultra. I have a bunch of different themes installed. It changes the font, the sounds, everything. But as far as Nougat goes, these can pretty much do the same thing. But anything outside of that, this is pretty much just a stock feeling phone on the Axon 7. But that's what some people prefer. And if you guys know, I definitely prefer stock Android at the moment. But I really enjoy the themes that are on here, and I'm running like I said, a Pixel theme. Now, obviously, I put this wallpaper on here, but you know, both phones offer the Nougat features. But honestly, folks, I don't even use split screen that often. I just open the applications up, and like I said, I'm a reviewer I'm not too big on like a bunch of fancy features. And honestly, when I want that, I go to a Samsung phone because I think the Note line does it the best. Because without an S Pen, you know, I don't consider many phones feature rich, and that's just my personal opinion. But they both can do their thing for what they are. The theme store in here isn't a theme store. If you click on themes, there's only two, and you just get the stock feel and the Me Favor UI. But in here, you can customize this phone in so many different ways. And if you want to do that on the Axon 7, you have to get a launcher, which is like Nova Launcher, which is like the top launcher for a lot of people. Cameras, though, it's kind of probably gonna be a blowout, but I'll do it anyway. Let me grab something to take a photo of. Oh, let's see here. What can I do? I'll grab something simple. I'll grab Alexa, and then I'll grab one of my mouse. So I'm just gonna put this here. I was gonna take a picture, just one picture at one time. Put them both in the same photo. And we'll do that. All right. Now, the Axon 7 has never been a phone that was touted to have the best cameras. It's never been that way. And it's not going to be that way now. The HTC U Ultra, now this is just a quick, photo I'm doing on camera. I'm not popping these up. I probably should, but trust me when I tell you, the Axon 7's rear camera, while it is a higher megapixel, it just doesn't compete with the HTC U Ultra's camera. And ZTE has heard that plenty of times. It's not something new. The cameras are good on the Axon 7. But there are cameras out there that are just better than the Axon 7's cameras, and that's just something that's just the way it is. No phone can be just the all-around complete package at this point as far as I see it. So I'm not going to get into a long camera battle, at least not in this video. with these, but I will tell you that the Axon 7's cameras are great. Now the front cameras are another story. So let me grab a front photo. I will do that for you because the Axon 7 has, and that's kind of weird. Sorry, I was taking a photo. The Axon 7's front cameras are great, and the rear cameras are not as good. So I'm taking a photo here off camera here of the same thing. So the Axon 7 has a great front camera. I don't know what technology they use or whatever for the front cameras, but it looks really good. However, once again, the ultra pixel camera on the front of the Htc U Ultra just can't be matched. And not just this phone, you know, I think the Samsung line, the S7 and S7 Edge cameras are not as good as the Htc U Ultra. I think the Htc U Ultra is kind of tearing everybody apart with that one right now. But we got new phones coming out, so we shall see. Software-wise, I think these are kind of, it's going to be a preference. Either you like Sense UI or you don't like Sense UI. But with that, you can put a different launcher on here. And I do have the Pixel launcher installed, but I haven't been running it. I put it on there just to have it on there. I haven't really ran it too much because I'm still in my review phase. It's only been about a week, about 7 days or so, I think, since I had this phone. I'm not sure. But I'm still in my review phase, so I want to use it as is. However, you know, the software on both of these is kind of a preference deal. Now that's just talking about the launcher. Speed-wise, they're both fast. You know, they both have 4 gigs of RAM. This has the Snapdragon 820 inside, and this has the 821, but you can't really tell the difference, man. I mean, they both are gonna fly. I don't have any problems with either one of them. I'm just being honest about that. So software is pretty good. Now, battery life. The Axon 7 flat out takes it in battery life. This has a 3000 milliamp hour battery, and this one is 3250, I believe. But even with that, this still just has longer battery life. I'm probably guaranteed at least 5 hours on here, 6 in some cases, and on this phone I'm pushing 5. Like I can make it to 5, but that means I'm down into like I need to hurry up and throw my phone on the charger before it powers off 5. So on this phone, on every charge, I will say I've been getting 5 hours to, let's go 4 hours and 45 minutes to 5 hours and 20 minutes. Even though I've gotten more than that, but it's somewhere in between there. With this one, I'm getting 5 to 6 hours. So not much difference, but it is a difference, you know, because, you know, it's getting better battery. So they both have 3000 or above, and they're both doing pretty good on battery. I was surprised that this phone right here got that kind of battery life, and I'm still getting that kind of battery life. But hey, the Axon 7 definitely takes it in battery life. Performance overall, I think they're both good. Like I said before, the software on them is optimized good. This one is really optimized well because of that 3000 milliamp hour battery, but I'm still getting great battery life, and the performance on here is really solid. On both of them, I don't have a problem with performance. Now, here's where the Axon 7 wins right now. And I think the Axon 7 will always win in this category, and it's the price. This phone right here is you can get a 6 gig, 128 gig version of this phone for $499, I believe it is. That's a lot of package here. That's a lot. That's a tough one to beat. You know, getting a 128 gig, 6 gig version for under 500. I think it's actually $499. I'm just gonna double check for sure here. But I don't know of many phones that are packing these kind of specs. Quad HD display, you know, stereo sound, you know, decent cameras, not the top of the line rear camera, but the front camera is definitely a boss. Excuse me, the microphone on here is just good for recording audio. This one has 4 microphones, but still, you know. But total package, I can grab this for $500 for 6 gigs and 128 gig model. You know, so there are upsides, you know. to having the Axon 7. You get just a beautiful package. This phone right here just released, and it is a challenger, just released. We might see some sales on this phone, but it's $749 plus taxes. And top of the line version of this one is $499 plus taxes. Now the advantages that HTC has over ZTE is that they're a more well-known brand in the US. So this phone is selling exceptionally well right now. The HTC U Ultra is selling well. People are buying it. People are importing it. They really want to get their hands on it. But it just goes to show that the Axon 7 is still a great contender. Even though it's a phone that came out last year, it's still very relevant, and it can hang with the big boys because it is a big boy. This is ZTE's flagship, and I think this phone will continue to shine into 2017. I mean, it's March 14, 2017, and this phone can still be compared to everything that comes on the market. And you know, it's not on carriers or anything like that. And HTC has phones on carriers, so that gives them kind of they have flagship phones on carriers, so it gives them the edge a little bit because, you know, people who know the HTC brand, you know, they trust the HTC brand. The ZTE brand, this flagship, if it were to hit carriers, there would be some problems. Right now, it's sold unlocked directly from ZTE, and it's a fantastic purchase. I mean, $499 for a 6 gig, 128 gig model, that's fantastic. And then 4 gig, 64 gig with an SD card, $399. And sometimes you can find it on sale, or, you know, it's just a good deal. But there you have it. The HTC U Ultra challenges the Axon 7. What do you guys think? Let's sound off in the comments. It's your man Jay Will, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.